It has been a long time since we have had sled hockey action in an event known as the Griff Sled Hockey Classic. 3 years and a day to be exact, but today, here inside the confines of Patterson Ice Center, we are just about set and ready to go for the 2022 Griff's Sled Hockey Classic, brought to you live on Sled Wings Radio. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Patterson Ice Center in Grand Rapids, Michigan. My name is Reagan Cleaves, and I'll have all the action for you of tonight's contest as the Grand Rapids Sled Wings take on the Chicago Hornets in the opening game of this year's Sled Hockey Classic and the final tournament of the year in the Heartland Sled Hockey League. Well, taking a look at both these two teams, the Grand Rapids Sled Wings barely squeaked into this Tier 1 competition. They sat number six in the Heartland Sled Hockey League after every other competition. However, and they'd be one spot out of competition. However, it was the Minnesota Wild Sled Hockey team that pulled out, sitting at an 8-0 record, third in the Heartland Sled Hockey League, and that brought Grand Rapids into the number 5 spot in at least teams that are competing at the Griff Sled Hockey Classic, and so they are a part of this Tier 1 competition. They come in with a 5-5-0-1 record, 5 wins, 5 losses, and 1 shootout loss. Those last two numbers in that record stand for shootout wins and shootout losses. Their opponent here tonight has made a 208-mile journey from Mount Prospect Ice Arena in Chicago, Illinois. The Chicago Hornets come into tonight with a record for themselves of 5-5-1-1, so they sit 2 points ahead of Grand Rapids with a overall 6-6 record, and they come here tonight hoping to knock off Grand Rapids in their home building. Well, we're just about set. Both teams getting called to the center ice by the official. We've got 14 minutes on the clock here at Patterson Ice Center. It'll be Grand Rapids going left to right across your screen and or radio dial if you are choosing to listen to this game, and Chicago will counter right to left here tonight. Sled Wings wearing their home red uniforms with black and white trim, with the Sled Wings across the front, white numerals, black helmets, and red socks. Chicago wearing their road gold uniforms with green trim, along with some white and green numerals, black helmets, and socks. It'll be Taggart Vandermolen in net to our left for Grand Rapids, the multi-time USA Sled Hockey National Development Team in net to our left. I didn't catch the number for Chicago's netminder as the puck is dropped. We are underway here in the 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic. It's bumped into the Grand Rapids end there by Juan Rodarta. He'll play it behind Vandermolen here. We'll take it around to the right circle, right side of the net, and a shot goes off the side of the net. It lays there for a bit. It's eventually picked up there and covered by Vandermolen for the first stoppage of play, just 23 seconds into this first period here from Grand Rapids. Draw actually will come out to neutral ice across the way, right in front of the Grand Rapids bench. 23 seconds in, 14-minute periods. It'll be Stever and Renarte to dig in for the draw, and it's won by Chicago, but it slides into the Grand Rapids bench. Their Hornets are eventually able to fish it free out of there. Moving over the line, near side is number 45. I do not have him on my roster, unfortunately. But the Sled Wings are able to steal it and get it out to center ice. It'll go into their bench once again. One of the parts of unfortunate to sled hockey is that players can't get off the bench or can't get onto the bench, and thus the puck sometimes comes into the bench and forces a stoppage of play, as it did there. And we're going to see where we have the face-off. It looks like it's just going to be outside the Grand Rapids line. 51 seconds gone here. It'll be Stever to dig in with Vanella. Grand Rapids center wins it back to Tyler Anderson. The Grand Rapids captain flips it up the wing. Stever bumped into there at center ice by Sean Grady, and the puck bounces around, eventually coming back to the Grand Rapids line, where Phillips will pick it up. Nick Phillips up left wing, throws it to center, where here's Scott Stever. Great defensive play work there by Kevin Ackerman to knock it away from Stever at the line, but it comes back into the Chicago end. It's thrown around the boards there by Andrea Arroyo. And Anderson, good keep it at the line there by the Sled Wings captain. He'll throw it wide of goal, and it's deflected into the left wing corner. Picking it up there is Kevin Ackerman. Ackerman throws it off the wing. It hits a Hornet on the bench, and the team in yellow moves it out to center ice, delayed offside here on Grand Rapids. Moving out here, here's Kevin Ackerman. Had his pass attempt blocked and throwing it into the Chicago end there was Dykstra. It comes into the right wing corner. Moving it out, here's Kevin Ackerman up left wing. This probably will go far enough for icing, and it does. An automatic icing here in sled hockey, even though Blackwell was back there and could have won the race per se had it been icing that required a touch-up, but it doesn't. So with 11:46 remaining here in period number 1, we apologize for the lack of score on our score graphic, but that has been remedied, as you can see on our screen. So we'll be to the left of the Hornet netminder. It's one across the way, picked up there by Jeremy Sanau. Sanau throwing it into the slot. It's cleared up to the line. James Sanau with a shot blocked there by Ackerman and cleared down into the Grand Rapids end. 11 and a half to go here in period number 1. Jeremy Sanau back there to play it for Grand Rapids. Full limit around the boards, taken near side by Sean Grady. He couldn't corral it, and it comes back out to center ice. Taking along the near half wall. Do the Hornets, they can't get it out as it's cleared across the way by Susie Cluting. It's stolen there by the Hornets, and it's thrown wide of goal. And racing down the wind here is Sean Grady. He got bumped up against the boards. Puck thrown into the slot. Racing for there's Rodarte. Rodarte steps around the fence, moves in, a shot saved by Vanderbilt, and the rebound denied. Good couple of key saves there by Taggart Vandermolen, and he's able to deny the Hornets on a couple of good chances, and up come the Sled Wings. Moving up left wing, here's Jeremy Sanau. Got bumped at the line. Good physical hit there by Kevin Ackerman, and that allows the Hornets to clear. 10:27 to go here in period number 1. Scoreless here from Patterson Ice Center in the opening game of the 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic. Blackwell was just offsides as that puck came into the Hornets' end, and so that forces the Sled Wings to tag up and allows the Hornets to clear it up. Here's Jeremy Sanau in a race for it with number 45. Sanau, good job to pin his man up against the boards. However, it's thrown in by the Hornets into the slot. It couldn't be corralled there by Vanella, and it bounces around in the left corner, in the left circle. Pretty energetic crowd here to start things off at the 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic, the first of 4 games tonight. Now here's Vanella in the slot, a shot. That was blocked by Sanau, and Vandermolen is able to fight it, and he'll hold on for a whistle with 9:36 to go here in period number 1. As we mentioned, first of 4 games on the docket here tonight on Sled Wings Radio and in the 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic. It'll be first, obviously, this game, Sled Wings and the Hornets, followed by the Thunder and the Steel starting at 7:40 on the other rink. You can watch that on Sled Wings Radio. Matt Geika will have the call for you on there, and then it'll be the Flyers and the Sled Dogs finishing out Heartland Tier 1 competition at 8:10 tonight. That'll be immediately following this contest, and then it'll be the Sled Preds and the Icebreakers later on here tonight. Icing waved off against Grand Rapids as Sean Grady rims it around the boards from right to left. 9:13 to go. Losing his stick over in the left side is Grady, and he is able to move it up to the point, but Anderson couldn't corral it, and now moving up ice. It couldn't be handled there by number 45, but it hops right on the stick of Vanella. Vanella who'll move over the line. Anderson back defensively for the Sled Wings. Vanella's shot went well high and wide of Vandermolen's cage. Puck is collected up at the left point. Here by Rodarte. Vanella, his shot was blocked from the top of the left circle. It lays on the inside of the left circle. Anderson able to clear it to the near half wall. They jam away at it. 8:30 to go here in period number 1. Just about halfway through the first period of the first game of the Sled Hockey Classic. Now here's a long shot by Rodarte from the left point. That was high of Vandermolen, but also high of the cage behind him. Nick Phillips collects it, and there's a rush for the Sled Wings, but they give it away. Scott Stever managed to work it away from Rodarte and clear it the length of the ice. He's trying to get this one in on goal, but it rolls just wide of the net. And with 8:01 left here in period number 1, we'll have a face-off back in the Sled Wings end. It's been a lot of action in the Sled Wings end as of late. They got off to a good start, but as of late haven't been able to get much on the Hornet netminder. Juan Rodarte in to take the draw against Scott Stever, each for their respective clubs. And Rodarte wins it back to the point. Here's a wrist shot, trickled just wide. That coming up from the point there by Brendan Myers. Scott Stever trying to get it out of the zone. It's shut off there from the point by number 44, Kevin Ackerman. Across the way in the left and the right circle, Xavier Virola managed to knock it away. It's cleared up to the point. Goes into the Sled Wings bench, but it's taken there by Sean Grady. He puts it into the Sled Wings end and chases after it himself after it was knocked away. And now look out, Anderson coming back on a good defensive play to knock the puck away from Sean Grady. Now Anderson, the Sled Wings captain, looking to move things out, tries to chip it out, but it's onto the stick of Rodarte, and look out. His pass goes into the Sled Wings bench, and Sled Wings coach Steve Arond throwing up his hands, going like, what the heck? You trying to hit me over there? And we have a stoppage of play and a face-off just outside the Sled Wings end. 7:11 to go here in period number 1. Reagan Cleaves on the call for you. Gabe Groh working the camera for us here tonight on Sled Wings Radio. Blackwell will dig in with Vanella. Side to side, and Blackwell wins it. Back to Anderson, controlling just inside his own line. He'll flip it cross ice off the half wall near side. It'll be controlled by Ackerman. Big hit there. Looked to be by Sanau, and it's played back into the Grand Rapids line. Vanella, good play. It comes free to Powankalitz. Her shot was saved, and the rebound lays in the slot. Here's Vanella. Good defensive play there. Coming over, and the Sled Wings are able to clear it out. Ackerman controlling it at center ice, throws it near side. It'll be corralled by Vanella. Vanella spikes it into the offensive end, behind Vandermolen and around to the far half wall. Powankalitz bumped into across the way, and she's able to get it to the near side. Anderson behind his net. Anderson, his pass couldn't be intercepted there by Powankalitz, and it rims up the left wing. Now moving up with speed. Here's a good chance for the Sled Wings on the back check. Here's a shot. That back check coming from Bradley Dykstra on that opportunity. But good defensive work there by the Hornets. Blackwell gets bumped into the Hornets bench, and it's played out for the Hornets. Here's Powankalitz over the line. That's going to be offsides against the Hornets with 5:42 to go here in period number 1. Grand Rapids has had a couple of good opportunities here, including that 3-on-2 where Dykstra was moving up the left wing, but again, it's been strong defensive play by the Hornets, not allowing a ton of shots on goal. As of yet, I still haven't gotten that Hornets netminder. It's either Tyler Woodworth or Jason Antar, both listed as netminders on the rosters we were provided, but we haven't been able to figure out which one. And here's Scott Stever on right wing, trying to move up. Closing in defensively was Rodarte along the half wall. He's able to steal it away, but James Sanow providing the defensive play there for the Sled Wings that neutralize. Now Virola moves it ahead to Rodarte. Rodarte working into the slot. A shot blocked there by Jeremy Sanow. He's hurting after it. It looked like he had hit him on the right arm. Now it's thrown around the boards by the Hornets. Here's Rodarte showing some good speed to get around Rukas. Tied up along the half wall in front of the Comerica Bank side. Across the way, and it comes back out to center, poked out by the Sled Wings. Rodarte picks up a backhanded pass there from Virola and looks to start the Hornet rush the other way. Virola tied up at center ice there by Stever. In there as well as Gabe Rukas. Good play by Stever to send it to the near side, and Susie Cluting, the alternate captain for the Sled Wings, will take it just outside the right point and fire it in. Still no goals for the first 9 minutes and 13 here in period number 1. Now it's sent out by Chicago to the Grand Rapids line. Grand Rapids trying the bounce pass out to center. They still haven't been able to connect. Throwing it off the high glass there was Luke Vanella, and it'll go back into the Grand Rapids end. James Sanow behind the net, throws it around the boards and bumps into the goal, and off it comes on its moorings, and will have a stoppage of play. That stoppage of play, the first one we've had in a long while. Very fluid play here through the first 10 minutes or 9 minutes and change of this first period. That will force a draw to the left of Taggart Vandermolen, who has been the goaltender for the adult team here for the Sled Wings for a long while. And he'll have to make a save right off that draw. Good stick work there by the goaltender wearing number 9. Sean Grady picks it up along the half wall. Shot from the top of the right circle. Karams off the end boards. Here's Vanella behind the net, looking for the wraparound opportunity. Leaves it at the side of the net, where it's cleared out by Nick Phillips. He's only able to get it into the corner. Here's a sharp angle shot. Comes right into the right circle. Couldn't be handled there by the Hornets. Now working in the slot. Knocked away off the puck was Sean Grady. And a loose puck in the right circle. Tried to be cleared out by Dykstra. Couldn't be. Stretching out for it in the slot is Sean Grady. He's able to knock it away. And it's kept in at the left point. Here's Vanella in the left corner. Tried to backhand it in the slot. It was cut off there by Nick Phillips. He's able to throw it up the boards. It's tied up at the left wing half wall. There's a long shot from distance. That looked like it kind of fooled Taggart Vandermolen out in front, as it looked like it was tipped by Tyler Anderson. That shot from the left point coming from Kevin Ackerman. 3:17 to go here in period number 1. Play has been heavily concentrated in the Grand Rapids end. Taggart Vandermolen having to make a couple of saves for his team. Anderson off the draw, able to find the puck and rim it around the boards. 3:06 to go here in period number 1. Now here's a shot from Rodarte from the top of the slot. It went wide, and trying to get it out on left wing was Anderson. Was Dykstra. He couldn't do so. Puck tied up just inside the right point by the Sled Wings and Hornets respectively, with time winding down. Pass was miscued on at center ice by Chicago, and they'll have to regroup in their own end. Big hit there, thrown by Phillips. Blackwell steals it at center ice, and we're going to have a stoppage of play here, as one of the Hornets came out of his sled. That's number 44, Kevin Ackerman. So he comes out of his sled, draws a stoppage of play, and we'll see where play will resume. I believe it will resume on the left wing circle of the Hornet end. Both referees talking with, one referee's talking with the Hornets player, one of them is having his sled checked out. And so far, I think he's good to continue play as Ackerman, and there'll be a draw, as we said, to the right of the Hornet netminder. 2:26 to go here in period number 1 from Patterson Ice Center. First game of 4 on the docket today, kicking off the 2022 edition of this tournament. Rodarte and Stever to dig in. Stever wins it back cleanly. Here's Sanau. He'll let a shot go from the high slot. It was blocked, and it'll go to the end boards. Here's Stever to the side of the net, throwing it out in front. Pawelkiewicz is able to get it out and start the rush for Rodarte. Rodarte getting up with speed. He's got 2 Sanau's back. Here's James working defensively, forces the Rodarte shot wide. Rodarte picks up the rebound, throws a sharp angle shot on Vandermolen, and he's able to find the puck. It is under his sled, and he'll hold on for a whistle with 1:58 to go here in period number 1. Into the dying seconds of this opening period that has been heavily controlled by the Hornets, Grand Rapids has been able to get a couple of opportunities, but not a ton. And this will go for icing here against Grand Rapids, forcing everybody to reset with 1:50 to go. 1:49 as they let a couple of seconds tick off on the clock there. So the draw will come back to the right of Taggart Vandermolen, left wing circle of the Grand Rapids end. Stever digs into it with Rodarte. Both of them have taken a lot of shots. Now here's a shot from Vanella. Bounced off the sled of Vandermolen, and he's able to find it as James Sanau is able to go, hey, here you go, and hand him the puck. And the netminder for Grand Rapids will hold on with 1:44 to go. It'll be Stever and Rodarte again in for the draw. Rodarte wins it cleanly this time, and it's whacked at there by Volpentesta, but the Sled Wings are trying to get it out. Here's Rodarte, left half wall, leveled there by Jeremy Sanau. Puck laid at the side of the net. Vandermolen flops on it for a stoppage in play. .117 to go here in period number 1. It'll be the left of Vandermolen. Stever and Rodarte again to dig in for the draw. They have taken almost all of the faceoffs that I can remember that either of these teams have taken. Stever is able to gain control for his team off this faceoff, and it's thrown around the boards there by Jeremy Sanau. Up at the left point, it's thrown across there by Kevin Ackerman. Off the half wall, corralled by Stever. Stever's got speed up left wing, but the puck runs into the Hornet bench. He puts on the brakes, does Stever, and is able to spin and fire it into the Hornet end with under a minute to go here in the first frame. Jeremy Sanau back to corral the puck for Grand Rapids, moving left to right here in the waning moments. Tyler Anderson inadvertently getting caught up with the puck in the Sled Wings bench. 32 to go in the period. James Sanau back in his own end to play it. Behind the net, he'll fire it around the boards. And guess what? It gets caught on the Sled Wings bench. It's shoveled out of there with under 20 to go in the period. Vanella intercepts that pass at the blue line, and he might have an opportunity here with 10 seconds left. Though Jeremy Sanau bumps into him and causes the puck to squirt free, and as time winds down, that should just about do it as a shot goes just wide, and we'll have a stoppage of play for the end of the period here from Patterson Ice Center. 0-0 the score after one, despite many efforts by Chicago. We'll step aside for a quick intermission here on Sled Wings Radio. Hornets and Sled Wings set for period 2 from Patterson Ice Center. Both goaltenders, Taggart Vandermolen and Zach Johnson, making their way back to their respective pipes. As we are just about set, we've got 5-a-side hockey to start this second period. Grand Rapids right to left, Chicago left to right. Grand Rapids wearing their red uniforms with black and white trim. This sent the length of the ice. Icing will be waved off. Tyler Anderson and Nick Phillips back for Grand Rapids. Thrown up the half wall there by Tyler Anderson. This will skitter the length of the ice. And icing's not called is coming back. There was Kevin Ackerman, who was popped out of his sled late in that first period. He sends a pass ahead. And this could be icing, and it will be here. With 13:19 remaining. That's a bit of a late whistle there from the referee, who it crossed the line about 2 seconds before he blew the whistle, causing yours truly to think that may have been a bit of a thinking that it may have been not calling icing, but we have icing indeed, with that'll force a draw in the Hornet end. Draw in the right circle. Be contested by Blackwell and Vanella. And it's one up to the Grand Rap just outside the line to lay it off sides as Anderson tried to throw it in. Anderson's able to pick up the puck from the bottom of his sled and fire it into the Chicago end. It's right around the boards. The near side. And it's taken away at the line there by Anderson. Good defensive play by the long-time Grand Rapids captain. Now it's thrown the length of the ice. A race for the puck here. Vanella into it with Blackwell. Vanella cuts off Blackwell. Gets the puck. Moves to the side of the goal. Working out of the slot. A shot saved by Vandermolen, and it's flipped out to the right point, but not out. Taking it, there's Ackerman. Long shot through traffic. Bunker saved by Vandermolen, and will hold on for a whistle with 12:22 to go here in period number 2. Vandermolen, a very good save there with the blocker on the right hand for the Sled Wings netminder, able to block it He had his blocker on the ice. He was able to find that puck through traffic. It was a long arching shot, as most shots from the point are in sled hockey. And he was able to get his stick, get his blocker down on that one and force a draw here. Now up with speed here, Scott Steven race for the puck with Renarte. Renarte beats him to the puck and throws it the length of the ice. This could be icing, but it's waved off as Blackwell came back to play it. 2 minutes gone here in the second period of play. Still scoreless from Patterson Ice Center. Reagan Cleaves on the call for you here tonight on Sled Wings Radio. Gabe Groh working the camera here for us. Now here's Scott Stever. He's in alone all behind the defense. He forwards that up the ice, and he's in a race for the puck. Will it trickle on to Johnson before he can get to it? Yes. And Zach Johnson was able to poke it away from Stever. Stever had a good idea. He just gave a little bit too much oomph on that puck from center ice, and it was eventually trickled down to Zach Johnson before he was able to poke it away and before Stever could get back to it. Now the Hornets try to move out left to right here in the second period of play. Pass ahead to number 45. He's bumped off the puck there by Jeremy Sanau. It lays up along the half wall. Renarte coming in to get it right up against the entry door to the arena, which was just about 2 weeks ago 8 inches higher than it is now. As in the 2 weeks ago, Grand Rapids Sled Wings partnered with Patterson Ice Center and a couple of other organizations. 10:33 to go here in the second period. They partnered up with Maha Rinks to Links and an organization out from Minnesota that helped to renovate rinks and make small additions, but look out, here, possible 2-on-1, but that pass was just a bit too far for Stever. And they actually, the entryway to the rink, there used to be like an 8-inch step down. Stever runs into his man in the left corner there. It's Sean Grady battling forward with Scott Stever. 10 minutes to go here in period number 2, and they came out here about 2 weeks ago, and the entryway to the arena, or the entryway to the rink, used to be about 8 inches off the ice surface, making it extremely hard. Here's a shot from the left circle that was knocked away there by Johnson, as the Sled Wings finally have some control in the offensive end here. James Sanau moves into the left circle, had his shot blocked. Stever and Sanau get to it. Now Stever a shot that goes off the toe of the sled of Brendan Myers. And so what they did is they took off that about 8-inch difference. Here's a delayed offside on the Hornets, forcing them to tag up. And so they leveled it. They leveled the basically the rubber outside the ice surface to the ice surface to make it easier for sled hockey players to get onto the ice, and it worked really well here earlier today watching both these two teams get onto the ice. It was very smooth to what I've seen it before. So off that play, which looked to be a little bit of a weird one, look at the Hornets. Vanella was trying to get outside the zone, but he was bumped up by Jeremy Sanau. And the Hornets have too many here, and we've got a delay in play here. And we have a power play for Grand Rapids. We do. And we're 45 off here at the 3:52 mark of the second period. I didn't see what the call was. Maybe it was interference. I'm really not sure. But as we roll along here, number 45 is off, giving Grand Rapids a power play here. Here's a shot by Phillips Whistled wide of goal. Tyler Anderson at the side of the net. Feeding it out in front. Saved by Johnson. Rebound. Loose in the slot. It comes free. Couldn't be corralled in the slot there by Dykstra. Here's Anderson up at the high slot. His pass intended for Phillips. Couldn't be corralled. Blackwell picks it up in the left corner. His pass out in front was knocked away. 8:34 to go here in period number 2. This one's clear the length of the ice. Icing waved off. Moving in here with speed is Luke Vanella. He'll beat Jameson out of the puck. Vanella moving behind the net into the left corner. Good defensive work there by Sanau to angle him off the puck. But Vanella still with enough room to take a shot, and he ripped it high. Now Tyler Anderson looking for an opportunity. Moving up left wing. Chipping it into the offensive end. Past Vanella. And Sean Grady behind the net. Johnson fell over in goal. And Dykstra throwing his weight behind the net. 45 to go on the man advantage for the Sled Wings. It goes off of a skate on their goes off a sled on their bench, and it's back into the Grand Rapids end. Good angling move there by James Sanau as he's taken down to the ice, getting tangled up with Vanella. 27 to go on the first Grand Rapids power play of the afternoon, and we have a stoppage of play here. Was it caught up in somebody's sled? And it was. It ended up getting caught in the toe of Tyler Anderson's sled as they fish it out of there. And then we'll have a draw at center ice here with 21 seconds to go on the power play for Grand Rapids. And number 45 in the box for the Hornets, 5-on-4 for another 20 seconds. At center ice, Blackwell digging in for it. And the Hornets send it the length of the ice. Icing negated due to the penalty. 7:19 to go here in period 2. Sanau gets tied up on the Hornet in the right corner. They jam away at it as time runs out on the power play. 0 for 1 is Grand Rapids. Puck is still tied up. It eventually comes free into the slot. Grand Rapids trying to clear it. They can, and it rolls in on Vanderbilt, and he's able to save it and hold on with 6:58 to go here in the second. Time now to take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Grand Rapids Griffins and the Texas Stars in action tonight here in Grand Rapids. 1:44 remaining in the first. They are scoreless. Texas heavily out shooting Grand Rapids 15-2 through the first 18 minutes and change. And over on the other rink, things are just about to get started here between the Central Illinois Thunder and the Indy Steel. You can watch that game on Sled Wings Radio. Matt Geika has the call simultaneous to this one. Here's a shot that goes wide of goal. 3:28 to go here in period number 2. We'll apologize if we're having a bit of trouble on the live stream consistency. The Wi-Fi here at Patterson is a bit rough. We'll try to see if we can change some of that going into tomorrow. Now Cluting has the puck stuck under her sled, and the puck is still caught under her sled, and she's bumped off the puck finally there by Vanella, and it's played off the glass. Now here's Scott Stever moving up through ice. A long shot on Johnson, and he's able to make the save. One of his first of the evening here, well over halfway through the second period and through this hockey game. Now the puck is caught up in somebody's sled, and we have a stoppage of play with 5:49 to go here in period number 2. Scott Stever again will dig in for the draw to the left of Zach Johnson. And the Hornets end 2 on left. We are scoreless here at Patterson Ice Center, the opening game of this 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic. The first one in 3 years after the 2020 and 21 editions were canceled due to COVID-19. Here's Jeremy Sanau out at center ice, taking it and throwing into the Hornets' end. Delayed offside here as Rukas was well offside, and the Hornets will send this all the way down. And icing will be the call as Anderson couldn't get back in time to play it. With 5:29 to go here in period 2. We mentioned the other broadcast here on Sled Wings Radio. We've got a whole docket on the list for you here this weekend. Tomorrow we have a grand total of 12 games for you being covered here on Sled Wings Radio. Things start off with the junior tournament at 8 a.m. bright and early. Hope you have your coffee if you're a fan of either the Grand Rapids Junior Sled Wings or the Worcester Junior Wildcats. They face off at 9 a.m. and that kicks off a full day of hockey, finishing off finally at 7:40 with the first of 2 semifinals in the Heartland Tier 1 League. Now picking up in his own end, here's Sean Grady up left wing. Old backhand pass to the near side. It's taken by 45. Again, we do not have him on our roster. We do apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. And he is the one that clears this into the Grand Rapids end. Tyler Anderson back there to play it. Grand Rapids 0 for 1 in the power play. Haven't had an opportunity since 45 went off at the 3:52 mark of this second period. Fluting couldn't corral a pass at center ice, and it lays on the Graha logo at the big center ice circle. As Vanella trying to get to it, he had it knocked away by Tyler Anderson. Anderson crunched on the left side here, right in front of us. 4:22 to go here in period 2. Jeremy Sanau picks up a puck, looking to go up with speed. He just gains the red line and dumps it in, though. Back to play it. There's Kevin Ackerman behind his net. Hornets going left to right here in the second period. 4:06 to go. They're wearing some pretty slick green and yellow uniforms. Now look out, Gabe Rukas. Gabe Rukas couldn't corral a pass that was right onto his tape in the top of the circle, and he fanned on it. Probably one of the best opportunities that Grand Rapids has had here tonight. Hornets are wearing these nice beehive themed socks that start with black, go into a beehive kind of hexagon pattern in the middle with green and white stripes. And then it finishes out with that beehive yellow pattern followed by the black at the bottom. Now, here's Sean Grady down right wing. He got cut off. Gabe Rukas pressuring him along the right wing half wall. Up to Pawalkowicz. Her shot was blocked, and Grand Rapids is able to clear it out to center ice. Taking there is Kevin Ackerman. He dumps it in before Stever could present a challenge. Icing going to be the call here against Chicago with 3 minutes. And unlike most icings that you see, you can change on an icing in sled hockey, and that is what the Hornets do here. Grand Rapids will change up the D pairings here with 3 minutes to go exactly here in period number 2. And we're live on Sled Wings Radio. Reagan Cleaves on the call for you. Gabe Groh working the camera for us here tonight. Off the tie-up in the circle. Getting there is Bradley Dykstra. Dykstra turns and backhands it on goal. It was blocked out in front. He gets it right back up to the point. Here's Phillips. A long shot through traffic. Oh, that went off the crossbar after Johnson reached up with the right hand and got it off the stick. He deflected it, but the Sled Wings still have an opportunity. Here's a shot from just inside the right circle. It was blocked. It lays around there. They jam away at it. Dykstra had that opportunity just moments ago. And here's Anderson keeping it in at the right point. He scrabbles forward and gets it into the right corner, and it caroms in behind the net. That was the best opportunity of the night for the men and women decked out in red, black, and white. Johnson with a lucky save as it hit his stick, then proceeded to hit the crossbar. 2:14 to go here. Now here's an opportunity for Luke Vanella. Vanella trying to get around the defensive Anderson. He does. He's in on Vandermolen. A shot. Big save there by Taggart Vandermolen. It'll hold on for a whistle after locating it underneath his Sled in with 1:57 to go here in period number 2. And we just keep rolling. The scorekeepers have had a tough time staying up with the stoppage of plays here. It's been second or third time we've seen healthy chunks of time run off in the clock. 1:54 to go here in the second period. Draw to the right of Vandermolen after an incredible save. So the dueling goaltenders are at it. Now look out right off the draw. A shot by Vanella was blocked. Rebound. Roderta had an opportunity in the slot. It was blocked away. He gets another whack at it, and it comes behind the net. 1:42 to go here in period 2. Comes free into the left corner. C.J. Blackwell in to pick it up for Grand Rapids. Will try to get it out. It will be kept in, though, there by Ackerman at the left point. Oh, Karabit off the end, boards wide of Vandermolen, and it'll come into the right corner. 1:26 to go here in the second period. Intensity picking up just a little bit here in the opening game at the Griff Sled Hockey Classic 2022 edition. Ackerman gets bumped into the boards across the way. Blackwell trying to fish the puck out, but it's Ackerman who shoots it in. 1:05 to go here in period 2. Vanella has it in the right circle. Left it off for Roderta. And he lost it, and the Sled Wings look to move out here. Here's Blackwell. Moving up the left side. Puts on the brakes at the top of the left circle and lofts one in wide of Johnson, who directs it into the corner. 40 seconds to go here in period 2. Maybe the opportunity for a rush, and the Hornets have men. Here's Vanella over the line. Anderson coming back, can't get to it. A shot by Vanella and a big glove save there by Taggart Vandermolen. Flashing the leather on the left hand, and he'll hold on for a whistle with 27.3 to go here in period number 2. It seems like there had been a lot of control in the first half of this hockey game for Chicago, but it hadn't really seemed like Vandermolen's been tested that much, and he's certainly been tested in the last minute and a half or so, coming up with a couple of key saves that have kept the Sled Wings tied here with the Hornets. 18 to go in period number 2. It's lifted down the ice by Grand Rapids. Icing waved off here with 45 to go in the period. Or 8 to go in the period. 45 back there to play it. He's able to get it out to center with 2 seconds to go. Anderson corrals, and that'll do it for the second period of play. We remain as we did when this whole thing started, scoreless after 28 minutes here on Sled Wings Radio. We'll step aside. Third period coming up next here on YouTube. Well, folks, we've got an exciting third period ahead of us. We've played 28 minutes. We've got 14 to go. Here from Patterson Ice Center, Vandermolen coming out of the huddle in front of the Sled Wings bench for the intermission. He'll slide back into his own cage. Zach Johnson already back there in his own end for the Hornets. As you can see, it'll be the Sled Wings left to right here as the puck is dropped in this third period, wearing their red jerseys with black and white trim. Hornets counter the opposite direction, right to left across your screen. Bright yellow jerseys with green and white trim, green numerals as well. Now Scott Stever picks up a puck. He's got a possible 2-on-1 with Kluting here. Here's Stever moving with speed, tries to cut across. He got slammed into. Kluting trying to come in and pick up the loose change. She can't. It's picked up by Blackwell. His shot was blocked. By Rukas. His shot was blocked, and now a shot by Stever from the slot went wide. Now the Hornets are going to lift this the length of the ice. Easiest icing call of the afternoon here for these referees, and they'll make it with 13:11 to go. And that is where the clock will stop after about 2 seconds after the whistle. This is been a running theme all night, but you know, we're just having fun here at Patterson Ice Center. Ian Reagan Cleaves on the call for you here. Gabe Groh working the camera as part of this whole weekend of coverage for the 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic. 18 games in total out of the entire 44 in this weekend tournament, mostly focusing on the adults and the Sled Wings. Right now, we've also got coverage of the Thunder and the Steel on the other rink here at Patterson Ice Center. Matt Geike has the call for you on that one. 13 minutes exactly to go here in the third period. Neither team has drawn blood yet. It's bumped into the Hornets' end. Playing it off the wall there was Sean Grady. Here's Rodarte taking it on left wing and able to throw it in to the far side. James Sanow back there to play it for Grand Rapids. He'll bump it off the end boards. Will be corralled on the near side by Susie Kluting. She had it knocked away, and Rodarte lets a rolling shot go there on Taggart Vandermolen, who'll hold on for a whistle with 12:25 to go here in the third period of play. Sled Wings will opt to change their lines here. So it's everybody spills out of the bench, and everybody who was on the ice spills back to the bench as well. Draw to the right of Taggart Vandermolen. He squares up to the shot. He squares up to the faceoff, and the Sled Wings win it. Here's a pass ahead. This could be icing here as it rolls slowly in on the goal line, and it'll stop in the bottom of the left circle, so icing is waved off. Now the Sled Wings are set up in the offensive end here. Blackwell, he got knocked off the puck, and the Hornets control. 2 minutes gone here in this third period of play. Here's Juan Rodarte. Moving up right wing across that line right side. He'll let a wrist shot go. Karam's off the yellow kick plate to the near corner. Here's Martin Woodledge. In behind his own goal, tied up in the left corner. He'll backhand that behind. Tyler Anderson looks to pick it up for Grand Rapids. Rimming it around the boards. The Sled Wings let it hit them and tap it off of their bench. Hornets throw it in. Wide of goal. Delayed offsides here against the Hornets, but causes them to tag up, but they charge right back in. Now it's taken away. Here's a shot there on the left side by Vanella. Great opportunity from the bottom of the left circle, and he put it just high of Taggart Vandermolen, and it goes up into the netting. And we'll have a face-off outside the Grand Rapids line here. 11:07 to go here in period number 3. Thanks again for joining us here on Sled Wings Radio. We apologize if the stream has been funky. We've had some, the Wi-Fi here at Patterson isn't that great, and trying to run 2 streams on it simultaneously. We'll see what we can do with it tomorrow. Maybe plug in an Ethernet cord or something of the likes and maybe get a better stream out there for you. here coming up in the next couple of days. Here's Vanella working into the side of the net, and a shot from a sharp angle was turned aside by Taggart Vandermolen. It's worked up the half wall left side. Bumped off the puck there was Luke Vanella. It's thrown down low, and a sliding puck there on Vandermolen. He'll hold on for a whistle with 10:23 to go here in period number 3. Again, we're a scoreless game. Grand Rapids had the only opportunity on a power play. That came back early in the second period. Number 45 went off for a penalty. We never saw the call assessed up here in the broadcast booth, but it is what it is. Now Stever wins the draw and controls. Here it is Jeremy Sanau. Sanau chipping it up the glass, and now look out, a 3-on-1. Here's Scott Stever on the left side, cuts into the middle, forwards it on ahead to Sanau. He moves in, couldn't handle the puck. He moves behind the net. His pass up to the left point is controlled here by the Hornets, pulling it off the half wall down the right side. Here's Vanella. Luke Vanella in with speed, right back the other way. A shot, glove save there by Taggart Vandermolen, and a rebound is thrown just wide there by number 15 for the Hornets. Couple of good opportunities, a 3-on-1 and then a 1-on-2, and then a 1-on-1 back the other way for the Hornets after the Sled Wings had what is arguably their best opportunity of the night. At this point, it seems like who can capitalize on the first who can first capitalize on any mistakes made by the other program. Now here's Vanella working into the slot. A shot, laying out the sled there was James Sanau as he blocked that shot, and now it lays under Susie Cluting at the top of the slot. She's able to find it and whack it near to the near side. Luke Vanella bumped in along the boards. And behind the net, and here's Vanella once more. Vanella trying the wraparound. And Vandermolen was able to pick it up and signals to the ref, hey, I've got it. And he blows the whistle accordingly as the man decked out in the black and white stripes. Vandermolen has made a couple of great saves here on the Hornets in this one. 8:46 to go here in the third period of play. We don't have a shot. Nobody's taking shots on goal here for either team, but it seems like it's been heavily in favor of Chicago through the majority of this hockey game. Now Juan Rodarte picks it up high slot. He'll walk the line, let her shot go into the right corner. That was well wide. Now Sanau got tangled up, and Rodarte is able to pick up the puck on the half wall. Rodarte moving into the bottom of the right circle, feeding it into the slot. Here's Grady, a shot. That was blocked. Rebound, lays in the slot, and it's poked away to the far side. Here's Rodarte picking it up. Lifts up the sled and pokes it underneath himself. Off the half wall, it comes into the slot. Look out! But the Sled Wings are able to loft it down the length of the ice. This could be icing if it goes the length, but it will just roll in on goal. And Johnson will leave it for his defenseman, Rodarte. Now James Sanau cuts off a long stretch pass at center ice. But it's still onto the stick of Kevin Ackerman. Bumped there by Dykstra. Here's James Sanau off the half wall across the way. Picked up there by Rukas. Rukas moves it out to center ice. 7:33 to go here in period number 3. The first game in about 3 years for a Griff Sled Hockey Classic. This one's going to go wide of goal. I thought that was going to be icing, but the back referee didn't signal it. And some Hornets fans agreeing with me on that one. This one's lofted in on Vandermolen, who'll take it and then decide to cover it with his blocker. That's something you don't see in stand-up hockey, a goaltender covering it with his blocker. Typically you'll see them cover it with the glove, but when covering it with your glove requires you to spin around on your sled, you don't want to risk knocking the puck into your own net, so Vandermolen smartly covers it with that blocker of his. With 7:09 to go here in the third. Blackwell to dig in with Radarta, and Blackwell is able to win it for Grand Rapids, but the puck comes free to the end boards, and it's a 2-on-1 battle in favor of Grand Rapids. Puck squirts free. Radarta is able to pick up the puck. Will move behind Taggart Vandermolen. He'll put on the brakes, trying to spin away from the defense. His pass out in front was cut off there by Vandermolen, and it's thrown around the boards by Tyler Anderson. That comes all the way back to center ice. Icing waved off. 6:37 to go here in period number 3. Anderson is able to pick up the puck at neutral ice. Tries to cut in. This will be offsides. That would have been a good opportunity, and they're going to blow the whistle here. And Anderson not too happy about that. And it looked like he did touch it after it was gone, after he was over the line offsides, but it is what it is. Anderson taking his position on the right wing here with Blackwell as his centerman. They're out there as well with Dykstra, Phillips, and Jameson now. Now Anderson beats his man to the puck right off the draw. He'll come in with speed. Down the left side, trying to generate something here for a Sled Wings offense that desperately needs it. Puck tied up in the slot there by Grady. It's poked free into the left circle, where it's picked up by Vanella. Vanella spins and fires it, but it was cut off at the point. He gets it right back, though, looking to move up with speed. The number 43 in yellow throws it up the wing. Blackwell knocks his man down, and we're going to have a penalty. We're going to have a penalty here. Referees have not made very clear signals, and it looks to be like they're signaling a hand pass. With 5:40 to go here in the third. It's been an interesting go of it here. They did call a hand pass on the Sled Wings, so that's what it is. Anderson talking with the referee to get that explanation. Blackwell to dig in. He loses it to Radarta. Radarta picks up the Sled, a shot. That was blocked there by a Grand Rapids Sled, and it carries back out to center ice on the clearing attempt. 5:27 to go here in period number 3. Grand Rapids and Chicago deadlocked at 0 since we have been since the puck was dropped to start the first period. Now somebody's lost his stick. It looks to me like Blackwell has. No, actually it's Megan Pawelkowicz. I'm not Polish. I'm sorry, folks. 5:04 to go here in period 3. Long stretch pass taken by Anderson. Will flip it up right wing. And a race for the puck here. C.J. Blackwell coasting to it quite easily. He was cut off, though. Good play there by Kevin Ackerman. Now there's a delayed offsides against Grand Rapids. They'll have to tag up here with 4:40 to go here in the third. 9 minutes, gone here in the final period of regulation. It's put into the Chicago end. Again, Johnson has not faced a shot here in this third period at all by my reckoning. No, it's been Taggart Vandermolen who's had to make a majority of the saves in this hockey game. Well, here's Jameson now back in his own end. He'll play it off the half wall. Out to center ice, Tyler Anderson controls. He'll flip it over a diving Sean Grady. And back to the Hornet line. 10 minutes exactly gone here in this third period. A pass ahead, icing waved off. Here it's a race for the puck. Jameson now and Grady. Each of them takes a tumble and they fall heavily into the boards. So now taking time to get up, and they blow the whistle, drawing some strong words from the Hornet fans to our right. We apologize if that was picked up over the mic. 3:43 to go here in period 3. Jameson now, the alternate captain for Grand Rapids. Slow to get up after he went tumbling into the corner with Sean Grady. He eventually gets up, and good to see him skating to the bench. He seems to be favoring that right side, maybe a little bit. talks with his head coach, Steve Aron, from the bench. Grabs a water bottle off the top of the bench boards and takes a sip here while his teammates do the work here in the defensive end. Stever to dig in for the draw, and we're back underway here. Now here's a shot right off the draw there by Kevin Ackerman. His shot was blocked away by Vandermolen. Scary opportunity there for the Hornets. Here's another shot that was blocked out in front. Now Anderson forwarding it on ahead, just a bit too far for Cluting. And it's pushed back into the Grand Rapids end. Jeremy Sanau moving up left wing, speeds around the defense. He's got the puck up left wing. He's got Anderson in the slot, but he can't find him. And he's tied up with Grady as well. Now here's Scott Stever. Stever in the left circle, a shot. That was off a couple of bodies wide of goal. Now Cluting in the bottom of the right circle, up to Stever. Stever walks in, a shot. That was blocked, and the rebound is cleared right onto the stick of Dykstra. He fell down as he took a shot. That was blocked. Sled Wings buzzing here in the Hornets' end. Pun intended there. Now here's Sanau losing the puck in the left corner. Comes free behind. We got a penalty coming up here. I couldn't catch the signal from the referee there. It seemed to be there were two players behind the net, so I can't really tell who the penalty is on by who touched it. And either way, we got 2:32 left here in the third. It actually might be on Grand Rapids here. Judging by the way everybody's coming out of the zone. So it is going to be on Chicago here. A second power play opportunity here for Grand Rapids. Going to have a power play here. It's going to be Sean Grady to the box here for Chicago. That penalty coming at the 10:28 mark of this third period. Grand Rapids already 0 for 1 on the day, and not sure what that penalty was for. We couldn't pick up a signal from the referee, but now look out. Here's a chance shorthanded for Vanella. Luke Vanella moving all in, and what the heck do we have here? There's a whistle. What the heck? I am very confused. There was a whistle right in the middle of a Luke Vanella breakaway that Vandermolen, to his credit, stayed with and made the save. But the Hornets bench is not happy whatsoever with this call from the referee. And it's going to be a 5-on-3 here for Grand Rapids. A great opportunity. Just 5 seconds into the power play. And Hornets, I'm not sure what that penalty was. My only thought could be it's a unsportsmanlike conduct? Maybe? But either way, it's a 5-on-3 here for Grand Rapids. Time of the penalty. It's going to be 10:32. Into the box, it's Roderta. So all three penalties have been on Chicago. That shot was ripped wide. Roderta and Vanella, arguably two of their best players in the box here for the next 1 minute and 41 seconds. And Rapids has a great opportunity here. 2:09 to go. Puck free in the left circle. It was knocked away. And look out, here's Ackerman. Ackerman moving up with speed. That's Vanella. Vanella, his shot was blocked. Grady is in the box, not Vanella. Here's Vanella, knocked off the puck there by Cluting. Taking it up across the way. There's Phillips. He bumps his man to the boards. And it's taken there by Vanella. Luke Vanella gets the puck poked away from him. Here's Cluting. She'll take it and lift it the length of the ice. That should be icing, and it will be here with 57 seconds left in the 5-on-3. So Grand Rapids really has to win this draw and get up ice with 1:29 to go overall here in regulation. There are a couple of controversial calls, both called on the Hornets. First it was Grady to the box. He's still got 57 seconds left, and then he was followed there by Juan Renarte. He's still got 1:03 left on his penalty. Draw to the left of Vandermolen. Take it and won by Grand Rapids. Susie Cluting forwarding it up to Tyler Anderson. Anderson up left wing. Will put it on the brakes and spin around. Fire it to Cluting. Cluting, she'll try to forward it in to Scott Stever. He's got it. Grand Rapids possibly getting away with an offsides there, if the Hornet fans aren't to be believed to, all right. Now here's James Sanau forwarding it into the slot. Susie Cluting's got a beautiful opportunity. She's bumped off the puck and knocked down. Now Phillips cruising in, tried the shot, it was blocked. Now Anderson bumped there by Vanella. Clearing attempt cut off there by James Sanau. Sanau bumped off the puck, and the Hornets are able to get it out with 10 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Now a race for the puck. Here's 45. Knocks down his man inadvertently, 31 to go. Hornets are back to a 5-on-4 for another second, but that runs out, and they've killed off all 3 penalties called on them here tonight. 21 seconds to go, time winding down. Now look out, here's Renarte, in with a shot, he ripped it wide on the left side. Now it's picked up along the near side. Here's Grady. Grady trying to put it out in front. Vandermolen down trying to find the puck. It's tied up in the bottom of the left circle. 5 seconds to go here in the third. It's knocked down, and that will do it for the third period. The Hornets survive some controversial penalty calls in that third period, as this one comes to an end here in regulation. 0-0 at the end of 3 periods. A hectic one here thus far. We'll step aside and we'll take a break here on the Sled Wings Radio. Well, we have played three full periods of hockey here at Patterson Ice Center and have not found a winner. In fact, nobody's found the back of the net, and thus we have a shootout on our hands here at Patterson Ice Center. First shooter here will be for Chicago, as we would reset the score to 0, but we can't, so we're already there. First shooter is Ackerman. Ackerman for Chicago picks up the puck, moving in across the blue line. Down, moving in on Vandermolen. He'll work in a shot, he ripped it high. So it's 0-0 after one with Ackerman after the first half inning of this shootout. Tyler Anderson will come in for Grand Rapids. Anderson will pick up the puck. Moving in, the Sled Wings captain moves wide left. Pushing the puck into the circle, moving in on Johnson, fires and scores! Tyler Anderson, the first player on the night to put a puck into the back of the net, and this time it's past Johnson. And Grand Rapids leads 1-0 here in the shootout after one round. That was a good job by him to get Johnson to commit down low on the shot, and he just lifted it over the pad of Johnson. Now here's Roderta. Roderta for Chicago, moving into the speed on Vandermolen. Sliding right on in, he fires and scores! Roderta, what a shot! Blistering it past the glove of the Grand Rapids netminder, and it is 1-1 here with Roderta getting his team on the board. Now here's Scott Stever for Grand Rapids. We're tied at 1 here in the shootout. Here's Stever on the left side, moving into the circle, cutting it on goal. He got knocked down by Johnson, but he's able to finish it here. And through 2 rounds, Grand Rapids is up by 1. And I'm not sure how many rounds this shootout is. I'm not sure if it's 5 or 3. Probably should have checked before the game, but you know, is what it is. Now here's number 43, Luke Vanella for Chicago. Picks up the puck here in around number 3. Moves in and ripped it wide. And that'll do it. Grand Rapids wins it here tonight thanks to 2 shootout goals by Stever and Tyler Anderson. They mobbed Taggart Vandermolen, who stood tall all game, making a couple of key saves in order to lift Grand Rapids over Chicago here in the opening game of this 2022 Griff Sled Hockey Classic. Well, not much to talk about here today. And we will have a post-game show. It's pretty darn simple. Grand Rapids and Chicago battled through 3 periods of scoreless hockey. Both goaltenders making a couple of key saves at key times, especially Taggart Vandermolen, who stood on his head all night, making a couple of fantastic saves on breakaways, on a couple of shots from the points, and especially in that shootout, only allowing 1 goal, and that came from number 3, Juan Rodarte. And that's how we finish it. Grand Rapids wins 2-1. Or wins 1-0 technically in a shootout here at Patterson Ice Center. Well, that'll just about do it for our coverage of this game. We'll be right back when the Michigan Sled Dogs take on the Turnstone Flyers here right after this. We'll step aside. Thank you so much for watching here today. This is Reagan Cleves saying so long for Gabe Groh from Patterson Ice Center as Grand Rapids wins 1-0 in the shootout. Thanks for watching and have a great night, everybody.